So today's topic is, please everybody go on mute. So today's topic is IP address and subnetting. So as I just told you, IP address is nothing but the internet protocol address. So this is the address which we have to give to a computer in order to have the computer over the network. So if you want to establish the communication between two different network devices means any devices that can hold an IP address. Either it can be a laptop, desktop, or a router, switch, whatever it is. If you want to establish a communication between two different network devices, you should have the IP address. And IP address means it is the identity of the computer over the network. Like we have our identity is our address. Similarly, computer will also have its own address. Okay, that is called as IP address. So before I get into the IP address, let us try to understand what exactly the addressing in IT. Okay, so when I say addressing, like we have multiple addresses. Okay, like we have Aadhaar card, right? So we have Aadhaar number. So this Aadhaar number is unique in the entire nation. And then you have multiple other identification cards. Okay, you have your voter ID, you have your driving license, you have your passport. The passport means it is globally unique. Aadhaar means it is nationwide unique. Your voter ID means it is your state wise, it is unique, correct na? So every addresses has got its own places, correct, right? So similarly in the networking or in the IT, okay, so we have multiple types of addresses in the computer language. Okay, first one is physical address, another one is logical address. This physical address is nothing but it is an address given to a computer hardware at the time of manufacturing. Okay, and that address we also call it as a MAC address. MAC is nothing but it is media access control address. Okay, this physical address will be retained in the network interface card of the computer. So if you have two network interface card in your laptop, you will have two physical addresses. If you have one single network interface card, then you will only have one physical address. And that physical address, it's a combination of the number and the alphabets, and it is it's about 12 digit length. You can see here it has got physical address here, and that physical address of 12 digits. See here, if you look at here, it has got 12 digit, correct na? So like that, the physical address we will call it as. So physical address is nothing but it is the address given to the physical computer. So the address stores in the network interface card of the computer. Okay, we will call it as media access control. How to check? I'll show you that. Okay, then, and I told you physical address, it's universally it is unique. No other computer will have this IP address. I'm sorry, address, MAC address. Okay, it is unique in nature. Like you have your IMEI number, na phone. So people will track the mobile phone where exactly the mobile phone was there and all using your IMEI number, because that is unique in the entire world. So same fashion goes for the computer. Okay, if any hackers are using some no hacking has happened, then they don't use the IP address to track. They use the MAC address to track actually. Okay, that is the physical address. Then let us go to the logical address. So logical address is nothing but it is the internet protocol address. So this will be vary from network to network. Say for example now, when you look at a problem, the logic behind resolving the problem may be vary from person to person. Correct? When I look at one problem, maybe I think in a different way to resolve the issue or a problem. Or when you look at the problem, maybe you may have a easier way to resolve the problem or issue, right? So that logic is always relative, means that varies from person to person. Okay, that is called as logical address. So logical address is nothing but the internet protocol address, and that varies from network to network. Today you are connected at home. When you check the IP address of your computer, it may show you like 192.168.1.10. When you go to your office and connect, there you may see 172.16.1.100. Okay na, so that varies from person to, I mean, network to network. Or when you change your mobile hotspot, then it may give you some other IP address. So that is called as logical address. Like you have your permanent address and your mailing address, correct na? So your current address may change when you are at rented house or something. Today you are at one area, tomorrow you may go to some other area, but your permanent address will be same, correct na? That is what this logical address is about. Clear this slide? Is it clear, guys?
Yes. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Hope so.
So now let us concentrate only about the IP address. So you learnt about the addressing. There are two address. One is physical address, another one is logical address. Physical address means it's 12 digit alphanumeric value, and we also call it as MAC address. And this is globally unique, and it stores in the network interface card of the computer. So when, say for example, one more point to that. Say for example, your network interface card may get faulty. You need to change a new network interface card. When you change the new network interface card, the physical address of the computer will get changed, because I told you the physical address is stored in the network interface card or LAN card of your laptop or computer. Okay, that's about the physical address. Logical address, it's an internet, I mean, internet protocol address. It changes from network to network. Okay, since we know about the logical address, this logical address is nothing but the IP address. So this IP address is very, very crucial and important. And now let us understand how many versions of IP addresses we have. So in the IP addresses, we have two versions. One is IP version 4 and another one is IP version 6. So you may ask a question, why there is two versions of IP, sir? So currently, right, we are predominantly using IP version 4, but IP version 6 is still not used widely. Very few peoples or very few companies are using IPv6. So why do we need IPv6 when we have IPv4? So this IPv4, right? Currently, if you look at, or 10 years back, if you look at, right, in each home, you had only one landline or one mobile phone, correct? Huh? As the, I mean, social media, all these things are, as the people are, growing, right? They started using multiple phones, multiple smart devices. Now, if you calculate, if you see, right, in one house, you will easily have minimum 5 to 6 mobile phones, and all are smart only. Smart TV, smart fan, smart cooker, all are smart devices only. So, smart means what? It has got internet in it. So if it has got internet in it, means it will consume one IP address, right? So this IP version 4 will get exhausted in future. Okay, in future, if we just use the rate, I mean, in this phase, if we are using the amount of smart devices we are using, no, that is rapidly growing like anything. Then for the future generation, we will not have the IP addresses only. That is the reason the research and development team, they start working on reserving or having some free IP addresses in the future for the future generation. That is what this IPv6, but it is not used currently. Okay, IPv4 is currently used, and the IPv4, it's a 32-bit numerical number. Okay, IPv6, it's a 128-bit alpha numeric and special characters it will have. I'll show you. See here, if you ask me, sir, can I know the IP address of a computer? It's very simple. To check the IP address of a computer or a domain, you can just do, if you want to check the computer IP, you can just IP config. IP,
IP conflict.
yeah. If you type a IP config command, see, you see the IP address is 192.168.190.7. Okay. If you want to see the MAC address, you can just put IP config slash all. Physical address also it will show you. If you put IP config slash all, You see here, you have got the IP address here, and you have got the physical address also. See, it is showing both physical address also it is showing, and it's also showing the IP address also. This is how to check the IP address of a computer. Then, if you want to see IP address of a net domain or a website, it's easy. You can use a command called ns lookup, name server lookup, and the domain name. Say for example, if you want to see facebook.com, facebook.com. See, now you got to know you are trying to look up for the facebook.com. When you try to look up for the facebook.com, you are able to see facebook.com is this one, and the IP version 6. See, this is the IP version 6. Is it not so easy to remember the IP version 6? Imagine, see, it is 2A03 dot colon 2880 colon F184 colon 81 colon FAC colon B00C colon 0 colon 25DE. Who will remember this? Correct. Now, this is called as 128 bit, and you see alpha numeric and special characters also there. Okay, colon is there. And if you look at this is IP version 4, this is IP version 4. So it has got 32 bit, 8888 bit. Okay, bit means what, guys? Bit means what?
Yeah.
Hmm?
With
Yeah, bit means what? Bit means 1. So binary value, right? Binary means
by
zeros and
zero or one. Yeah,
yeah,
zero
0
or
or
one.
1. Binary means it's 0 or 1. So bit means it's 1. Okay.
Okay.
So I will explain you how this number will be coming and all, but you should have the differences when you look at the number like this big number. This is called as IP version 6, and IP version 4 means it will have 4 numbers separated with the dot value. See, dot. And this number 157 is each number will vary between 1 and 254. Okay, so 254 and 255 max. Okay, so this is called as IP version 4. Now you can, when you look at an IP address, you will be able to tell, okay, whether this IP address is IP version 4 or IP version 6. Correct?
Yes, sir. Sir, one doubt.
Yeah.
So in order to check IP address, we must have an account in the like Facebook.com.
So you don't need to,
We
you don't
okay,
need
okay,
to, you can tell me whatever IP address you wanted to see. Basically you should
okay,
have the
okay,
command, that's all. See,
okay, sir.
ns lookup is the command.
Okay, okay,
Now see, I can do instagram.com. See, it is showing.
okay, okay, sir. Okay,
Yeah, anything you can type, it will come,
okay,
like google.com. See,
okay.
it is coming like this. Okay, so now
Yeah.
you know there are two. Yep.
And also we can use that ping and google.com, and from there also we can see that what is the
Exactly.
IP address for
Ping
that.
also you can see. If you see ping google.com, see it is coming 142, 250, 182, 238. See, google.com, this is also. See, NS lookup is used to resolve and verify whether the DNS is working fine or not. So while checking that, you will know whether the validation of the DNS service, and you will know the IP address. But ping means it's packet internet grouping. Packet internet grouping means it is a command ICMP request that you are sending to check whether the communication is there or not. So if you get the replay, say for example there are two computers, computer 1 and computer 2, and you want to know whether the computer 1 is able to talk to the computer 2, communication is there or not, then you can use a command called ping. Okay, png ping, and type the IP address or the domain name. You can put both. So you will get the response. If you are not getting the response, that means the communication is not there. Then you need to check with the network team or the application server is up and running or not. Those things has to be checked. Okay, so now you know IP version 4 and IP version 6, you are able to identify both. Now let us, since we are only using IP version 4, I am concentrating only on the IP version 4. Okay, so the IP version 4 further gets classified into two types of IP addresses. One is public IP, another one is private IP. So two version V4 and V6, and then V4 further gets classified into two types. One is public IP, another one is private IP. Okay, what do you mean by public? Have you ever heard public? Not the IP address, anything public means what?
Which one is used by everyone, like in general?
Exactly. Public means it is pupils. It is open to everyone. It is available for everyone. Private means it's your own. So
It's like
public,
a static IP address.
no, static means that is different. I'll show you next. Okay. So public means this IP address is available over the internet. Anybody can access this one. Okay. Now you have seen the IP address of Google, Instagram, Facebook. Correct, na? Now I was able to access. If you type www.facebook.com, you will be able to see the website. Correct, na? So same way, public means it is available over the internet. Say for example, your laptop has got one public IP. By sitting at my home, if I know the public IP of your laptop, I can connect from my home to your computer. I can connect. I can take the data. I can see whatever I wanted to do. So there is no security in case of public. Anybody can access the IP address. That is called as public IP because it is available publicly over the internet, and it's a chargeable IP address. It's not a free IP address. It's a chargeable IP address, public IP. Okay, you need to buy from the vendor. Like if you have a Airtel network or Geo broadband, you can get one public IP from them. So they will charge you around 1,500 rupees or 2,000 rupees. That varies. Okay, so pack offer, it depends on the offers actually. Okay, so private IP means it is your own IP addresses. So imagine, so you have one organization. So in your organization you have very crucial data, some good information is there, very critical information is there. So if you put the public IP, or if you use the public IP to all the computers at your office, so there is no security, only anybody can access your data, anybody can take the data from your office, right? So there is no security. So to increase the level of security, what we have done within the offices, what we will do, we will only use the private IP addresses. When you use the private IP addresses, these private IP addresses are not accessible over the internet, only accessible within your office network. Okay, say for example, you have some applications which can be open only when you are at office, like your leave tracker, or maybe your HRMS website, or your payslip related website, or your personal information related website will be only accessible when you are at office. But your company website, your company stock related things, everything can be seen in the public. So there are some information which can be shown in the publicly. There are some information that should be restricted within the network. So that is called as public IP and private IP. Okay, so public IP means it is available over the network or internet. It is a chargeable IP address. The risk of having the risk is high in the public IP because it is anybody can access. Private IP means it is the within the office you can use it. It won't be having the access to the internet word, and it is a free IP address. Okay, so now we will only talk about the private IP address, but I'll show you how to identify whether the IP address is a public IP or a private IP. So next slide you will be able to understand. Okay, so this private IP or public IP further gets classified into multiple classes. Okay, there are five. See, before I go there, let us see the Internet Protocol version 4. See, I told Internet IPv4 means it's a 32-bit logical address, and it has got 4 octet. I told you, right, bits. See, this is what 32-bit means. If you see here, if you see here, 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1, so 8 8 8 8, so 8 for the 32. So that is why I told you 32-bit. And each octet, so this each box we will call it as octet. Why it is octet? It has got 8 bit. 8 means octa. So 8 bits we will call it as octet. Okay, and each octet number vary between 1 to 255 only. If the number is more than 255, here 192 instead of 192, if you have 256, then it is invalid IP address. Or instead of 256, if you have 900, then it is invalid address, because the IP version 4, the each octet value should be vary between 1 to 255. I will show you why. See, there is a formula called 2 to the power of n minus 1. Okay, 2 to the power of n minus 1. And I told you 8 bits here, correct? Na? So 8 bits, if you write like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. If you apply the 2 to the power of n minus 1, okay, if you put 2 to the power of 0, 2 to the power of 1, 2 to the power of 2, 2 to the power of 3, 2 to the power of 4, 2 to the power of 5, 2 to the power of 6, 2 to the power of 7. So 2 to the power of 0 is 1. This is 2. This is 4. This is 8. This is 16. This is 32. This is 64. And this is 128. If you sum everything, it comes 256. And the formula is 2 to the power of n minus 1. 2 to the power of n minus 1 means 256 minus 1. So it is 255. So that is the reason the number should vary between 1 to 255, not more than that. Okay, got it? Why the number should be vary between 1 to 255? It is because the formula is there, 2 to the power of n minus 1. Okay, that is how we are deriving the number. So the computer, what it will do, it will convert each number into binary number and then convert. Say for example, this 192, if I want to convert it to binary, so say for example 192, if I want to convert it to binary, how it will work? This 192, okay. See, you need to take some number which is, when you sum those numbers, 192 comes. So already have 128, okay. 128, I'll go to calculator to make it easy. You need to know what is the number that you need to sum. So let me put 120, sorry, 128 plus 64. See, if I sum 128 and 64, I'm getting 192. So what you have to do, you need to put here during 128, at the place of 128 you can put 1 because you are adding this one. 64 also you are adding 1, put remaining all you can put 0 0 0 0 0 0. So the binary number of 192 is like it is 1 1 0 0 0 0 0 0. This is your binary number for 192. So 168, what you have to do, now you need to put some 168. So what you can do, so 128 plus 32 160, and then if you put this 8, it is 168, right? Plus 8 is 168. Now you know. So here what I will do, this one is 1, this one is 0, this one is 1, this one is 0, 1 0 0 0. So the binary of 168 is 168 binary is like 10101000. This is the binary of 168. So when you use some IP address, I told you computer will only understand binary zeros and ones. So it will convert this decimal, I mean the numerical number into binary, and then it will have the communication established. Clear? Is it clear, guys?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So don't see, you don't need all this thing how to convert binary to those numbers. You don't need to convert it. Okay. Basically, what I wanted to tell you is, when I write an IP address, now, so you should be able to see whether this IP address is a valid IP or not. Okay. Let me write one or two IP address. Tell me whether it is a valid IP or not. Okay. 1.2.3.4. Is it a valid IP? See here.
Uh,
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes. Valid one.
Because the number is vary between 1 to 255 means it's a valid IP. Okay. Now I will write 1.256.192.100. Now
Invalid.
how invalid?
256 is there.
Yes,
Like we.
see, in the second octet it has got 256. Now one more 10.11.900.10. This is,
Yeah. Invalid one.
Invalid.
yeah. So now 1.2.3.300. Now,
Invalid.
yeah. See, irrespective of the octet, any octet which is having more than 255, then it is invalid. Okay. Now you got to know an IP address is valid IP address or not if I write. Correct, right?
Yes.
Okay. So now let us understand there are five classes of IP addresses. One is class A, class B, class C, class D, and class E. Okay. How this class will be identified means the first octet of the IP address start from which number. Okay, based on the first octet of the number. See, the first IP address. Say for example, so 192.168.10.11. So I told you the IP address of the class of the IP address will be decided from the first octet of the IP address. So if the first octet is vary between 1 to 126, it is class A. See here, 100 126,000. So I am talking about only the first octet. If the first octet is vary between 1 to 126, then it is class A. Similarly, if the first octet is 128 or 191 in between, one any number in between 128 and 191, that is class B. Class C, it is same like 192 to 223. Continuity is there, you see 1 to 126 here, but 127 I have not written because 127 I have written here. See, I will explain you why. So 128, then 191. After 191, I'm starting 192 and 223. After 223, I'm starting to 224 and 239, 240, 255. So in this five classes, only the first three classes are in use. Means we can only use the first three classes, class A, class B, class C can be used, but class D and class E is dedicatedly kept for the research and development purposes and multicasting purposes. Okay, this is basically to do the research developments, that kind of thing. So you forget about class D and class E, but you should know what are the classes of each, the range of each classes. Okay, it is important because every interview this question will be asked. 224 to 239, 242, 255. Okay, so 1 to 126 is class A, 128 to 191 it's class B, 192 to 223 is class C. Okay, and there is an IP address I have not written. It is 127.0.0.1. Any number that start with 127, we call this as a loop back adapter IP address. Means if you want to see the health of your network interface card, so in your laptop you have a network interface card and you want to check whether the network interface card is healthy or faulty. What you have to do, you can png ping, you can just type any number 127.127.127.127, anything you can write. 120, I have written 127.12, 126, 120, anything, any number, but the number should vary. I mean, start with 127 and you can go up to 254.254, 255.254. See, any number you write, but basically the first number should be 127. First octet should be 127. See, you are getting response. Since you are getting response, that confirms you or tells you the network interface card which you are checking is, well, it's an healthy one. Okay, that is the loopback adapter. So if somebody asks you what is 127, you can tell it is the loopback adapter IP address. It will be used to check the health of the network interface card of your computer. Okay, so now let me go quickly and write some of the IP address, and I want you to tell whether it is which class it is belongs to. Okay, I will write here to make it easy. Okay, 1 to 126 class A. Okay, 128 to 191 class B. 192 to 223 C. Okay, since we are using only the first three classes, I will only write class C only. Okay, I mean first three classes only. Now tell me what is this classes belongs to. You need to tell which class it is belongs to and whether it is valid IP or not. Okay, now I'm ready. 1.2.3.4. What is this?
Class A. Class A.
Class A and valid or invalid?
Valid one. Valid one.
Yeah, you need to tell both. Okay,
Okay. Okay, sir.
now 4.3.2.1.
Class A and valid one.
Yep. Please others also speak. Okay. Now 195.6.11.10.
Class A valid.
Class?
Class
C.
B.
Class C it is.
Yeah, class C.
Yeah, class C is valid. Good. So now 220 dot 220 dot 220 dot 220.
Class C,
Valid.
valid, sir.
Class C and valid IP. Okay. So now 2. Okay. So 191 dot 110 dot 21. This one.
Yeah, valid one, sir. Class.
Class B.
Class. Yeah,
It is
class
class B valid IP
B.
address. Okay. Now we are able to understand, or now we are able to see and tell. Okay, whether the IP address belongs to which class, or whether the IP address is a valid IP address or not. Okay. Now we'll write one more. Okay. Tell me this one. 1.296.192.1. This one.
Invalid.
Invalid. Invalid.
Invalid.
Yeah. So now 77 dot 777 dot 99 dot 11.
Invalid.
Yeah. So if you're able to tell this much, it's fine. Please read it when you go back at home. Okay. So now you are able to understand whether the IP address is belongs to which class and whether it is valid IP or not. Okay. And one more IP address I missed to. Okay, I wanted to tell you. So one more IP address is there that is called as APIPA. That is starting with 169.0.0.0. The last three digit can be any number, but the first digit is important. First octet is important. Okay, if an IP address that is starting with 169, that is called as APIPA. 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 What is APIPA? APIPA means it is automatic private IP address. Means, so when you, I mean, when there is an absence, see, you have told the laptop to take the IP address dynamically. So you enter the network interface, network interface card, IP version for properties. Okay, then you open it and then you select the first option, obtain an IP address automatically. So when you keep that, the computer try to talk to the DHCP server and get the IP address. So due to some reason, if the DHCP server is not available in the network or shut down or something happened, then the operating system itself will give an IP address to have the communication within the network. That is called as APIPA. So operating system will give an IP address of 169 dot series. But you can do the communication within the office network, but not outside. Okay, that is called as APIPA. So that will explain you when I do the DHCP. So now So now you are able to understand the IP classes and which class it is belongs to. Then you may ask a question, sir, why do we need these classes? Why are we segregating the classes? So this class of the IP address is done just to see, or it is depend upon the network and computer requirement. See here, class A, the IP address has got, before I go there, see here, the IP address, it's a combination of the network ID plus host ID. So let me remove all this thing. Yeah. See, if you look at, when I say IP address, it is the combination of the network ID plus host ID. Means when you look at it, right, you should be able to understand which network it has belongs to and how many number of IP address you wanted. That is called as network and host ID. Okay. So then if you see here, each classes of the IP address defines how many number of bits are given to the network and how many number of bits given to the host. N means network, H means host. So N represent network and host represent H represent host. Okay. So if you want more number of computers and less number of network, you can always go with which one? Which class can be gone? If you need more number of network and less number of more number of computers and less number of network, which class can be gone?
A, class A.
Yeah. See, in your lab, in your organization, say for example, you have a company. Say for example, Microsoft. If you look at Microsoft in India, you will only have around 6 places or 5 places only Microsoft Office is there. But there are lakhs together users or engineers are working in Microsoft, correct? Na? If that is the case, you need less network. Then go with the class A. When you don't know how many number of networks you need and how many number of hosts you need, if you have balanced one, then go with the class B. Okay. Then you have seen some offices, there are a lot of offices are there, but users will be very less. Example, if you look at your Airtel outlets or Vodafone outlets, every area you have Airtel offices, not the shops, genuine Airtel outlets where you go and resolve your issues. Each and every area got 2 to 3 offices, network. I mean offices. But when you go inside, na only 2 3 users will be sitting. 2 3 computers will be there. Less computers, but more number of networks are there. In Bangalore itself, you have around 65,000 Airtel outlets are there. 65,000 Airtel outlets are there in Bangalore. But users, if you calculate, only 1 or 2 or maximum 3 users will be there. So less number of computers will be there and more number of network is there. If that is the case, you can opt class C. Clear? Clear? It is clear, guys?
Yes,
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 sir.
sir.
So then based on this, we will write the subnet mask. See here, when I write in n places 1, okay, I see here host bit means H, network bit means N. Network bit represent 1 and host bit represented by 0. So if I apply this formula here to this one, so octet is there, okay? So let me put 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1, okay, and then put 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 so 32 bit now. 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 32 bit. So if I apply the formula, so 2 to the power of n minus 1, if I apply here, it will be there 255, correct na? And 0 0 0. So this is the subnet mask of the class A IP address. So if you apply the same formula here, it is 255.255.0.0. And if you write 255.255.255.0, okay, so that is the class C. 255.255.255.0. It is 255.255.0.0. Okay, this is the subnet mask of each class. So you don't need to select that. If you look at here, if you go to ncpa.cpl, when you just type the IP address, I'll go to this one, that automatically calculates the the subnet mask. See, just tell me one class A IP address. Anybody can tell me? Can somebody tell me one class A IP address?
10 dot 10.2 dot
Hmm.
what 10.2.
See, you have told 10.2.10.2. It's a class A IP address. Perfect. If I just
Yes.
type tab, see, it automatically calculates the subnet mask. I am
Okay.
just typing the tab. See,
Okay.
it
Okay.
automatically given 255 255.00. So this is what, right? First octet is n remaining 0. That is why it is subnet mask is 255.0.0.0. Now, can someone else will tell me? Can somebody tell me class B IP address? One class B IP address, 128 and above, or 128 to 191. Hmm?
170 dot
Hmm? Any number, 1.2.3.
10.
14
Tell me, 1.2.3. See, if I put tab C, automatically 255 255.00. This is the class B one. So now if I write class C, any number, guys, don't, why are you struggling? Just take one. Class C means what? It starts from 192 to 223. Put 192 only. Now who's 10.2.3? See, any number you can put. See, it automatically given 255 255 255.0. That's what I was explaining here. Subnet mask means, first means class A means 255.0.0.0. Second one is 255.255.0.0. Class C 255.255.255.0. So that's the same thing. See, class A is 255.0.0, class B 255.255.0.0, because network bit 8 bits are there. Here class B 16 bits are there for network, and class C 24 bits are there for network. That is the reason, since you are putting one for n, it is 255, 255, 255, it will be coming. Okay, understood, guys?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. And if you read here, class A IP address is first octet reserved for the network bit. First octet will be reserved for the network bit. Okay. So class B, first two octet will be reserved for the network. Uh, yeah, reserved for the network bit. Remaining are host bits. Okay. Class C, first three octets are for network. Remaining are host. So the same thing I have written here. So clear, right? This slide.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, now you know what is your physical IP address, what is your physical address, what is your MAC address, how many versions we have. There are two versions, version 4, version 6. Why are we using version 4? Why are we using version 6? And what type of public IP and private IP, and then classes of IP address you are able to see, and you now understood also the subnet mask of the IP addresses, right? Now you still don't know how to identify whether my IP address is a public or private. That is the only thing left out, correct na? So so to make it easy, and not everybody will be offered, right? Say for example, you are working around 1 lakh users are working in your organization. Imagine 1500 rupees into 1 lakh IP address per month. It's huge cost aside, and the security risk is high. So what they have done, in each classes, the first three classes I told you, right, can be used. In each classes, one IP address they have given for the private IP usage. So in the class A, you always start with 10. Whenever there is a number start with 10.0.0.0, any number that start with 10, it is private in the class A. So in the class B it is 172. Okay, and in the class C it is 192.168.0.0. So basically the first octet is this one. So if an IP address that is starting with 10, 172 or 192, okay, that is called as private IP address. Rest everything is public IP. Any number that you write apart from these three numbers, that is public IP address, guys. Okay. Now I'm writing one or two IP address. You need to tell me whether it is a public IP or private IP. Okay.
Sir, like private these IP addresses only we can assign to the host in
Exactly.
network. So,
That is why in your lab also I'm assigning 192 or 172 or 10. I always
okay,
talk about these three numbers. Either I will
okay,
tell 10 or 172 or 92 because these are the private IP addresses.
okay, okay, sir.
Okay. So now I will write some IP addresses. You need to tell me whether it is valid or I mean whether it is private or public. This one 1.2.3.4.
Public. Apart from that one means it one is, this one is public, right?
Yep, it is public. Yep.
Yeah.
Now 10.2.3.4.
Class A private IP.
Exactly. I need this kind of answer. Okay. It's a class A private IP and valid IP. Okay.
Yep.
So now 1.10.3.4.
Class A public.
Yep. Because you need to look at the first octet only. Even though 10 is there in the second octet, you don't need to worry. You
Yes.
have to worry only about the first octet. Okay.
Like here in class B 172 dot second octet below 10, like 10, 11, whatever. That's
Can be
also
there, no
public one.
problem.
Yeah.
You have to
That
look you have to look only the first number. Okay.
first one only.
First octet 172
Okay.
dot
Okay.
10 dot 11 dot 13. It's a private IP.
Okay. Okay.
172 dot 16 dot 11 dot 14. What is this?
Private IP.
Private IP, class B IP. Okay, valid
Yes,
IP.
yes, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So now 192.168.1.100.
Class C private IP.
Yeah. So 200.192.172.10. This one.
Class C public.
Yeah.
Public.
Yeah. Now we are able. Sorry, guys. Now you know how to identify whether the IP address is private IP or public IP, valid IP or invalid IP, and which class it is belongs to. What is the subnet mask for each? Enough. So this is the takeaway of this today's class actually. Okay, because without knowing the IP addresses, it is very difficult. And this is very easy subject also. So I don't upload this video. You already have a very good video. Watch it in the channel. Okay.
Sir, one yesterday you told like one gateway for one gateway. Each class has one reserved IP for gateway.
Yes.
Like yes,
It is always the
uh,
first IP. So say
sir.
for example,
Okay.
okay, let me clear this one. Say for example, in class you have an IP address. They have told you like use this IP address 172.16.0.0 slash 24. Okay, they have given you this IP. This is the class of the IP address. Okay, so if you want to see what would be the gateway, you should be like this 172.16.0.1 is your gateway IP address.
Okay. Last bit only consider.
Only the last bit. 99% of the time This will be your gateway. 1% it can be last IP also. 172.16.0.254 also. Okay.
So
It
can we,
depends on the
sir,
company. Yeah.
can we get gateway through any commands like for
No, no.
getting?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
IP config if you see it will come. No.
Okay, okay, sir. Okay.
If you look at here, if you put IP config, see, see, if you want to have the
Yes, sir.
computer
Yes.
to be there in the network, you need to give this three mandatorily.
Okay.
These three things should be there. One is your IP version, IP should be there. When you add the IP address, when you press the tab, subnet mask automatically populates. You don't have to worry. And default gateway should be there. And see, default gateway is
Yeah.
0.1, 0.1, 190.1, 190.1.
Okay.
See, last one is 1 only. See,
Okay.
44.1. Now,
Okay.
like that, it will be there. So, if you don't put either subnet mask or default gateway, you will not have the communication only.
Okay.
And one more thing I missed to tell you actually. Okay, so now I will write you one IP address. You need to tell me whether it is a valid IP or not. Okay, say for example 172.16.0.1. Is it valid IP?
No, like, is it reserved for like a gateway only or
No, no, no. Is it a valid IP address or not?
yes, valid one, I
Yes,
think.
sir.
It is valid one only. Okay,
Yes.
now I will tell you 172.16.0.0. Is it an IP address?
No, I think not valid one.
It is not an IP address, it is a network ID, because anything that is ending with 0, that
Okay.
is not an IP address, that is an network ID. Okay,
Means first bit only. This one, last zero.
last 0 only.
Okay.
So if somebody asks you, can you please tell me, say for example, this is 172.16.10.1. So this is a class B IP address, correct? Nah? If
Yes.
somebody asked you to write the uh, network ID for this one, you can just type 172.16.0.0. This is your network ID, because it's a class B IP addresses. First two octet for network, remaining are for host. That is the reason you put 0.0. Class A it is like 170 10 dot
10
1
dots.
dot 2 dot
0
3 is there, means you put 10 dot 0 dot
dot 0
0
dot
dot
0.
0. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, and if class C is like 192.168.1
160.
1 dot 10. Okay, this is the IP address. If somebody asked you, you can put it is
160.
192.168.1 dot
Yes.
0. Yeah, this is your network ID.
Okay.
Okay, so based depend upon your classes, depend upon your octet, you can put the number. So basically, when you have last number 0, that is
Okay.
network ID only. Sometimes you forget about the this. You have to consider the last IP. I mean, just see, look at this one. If it is having 0, then it is, you straight away tell it is,
Network right.
it is network ID and not the IP address. Okay.
Okay.
So, with this, we will quickly move to the subnetting. Just 1 minute, that's all. Okay. So, what do you mean by subnetting? Any idea about the subnetting, guys?
No, sir.
No.
So, subnetting is nothing but network within network. That means to create small network within the bigger network. That is called as subnetting. Subnetting is nothing but network within the network, or creating large number of, or dividing large number of network into small network. We call it as subnetting. Okay, if you look at here, say for example, I'll tell you. So, do you know about router?
Yes, sir. I have one general idea.
Yeah, what is router?
Like which is like in generally, as I know, it is used to connect to the internet. Means whenever you have large number of hosts, uh, to connect all those hosts, we can use routers, or we to connect to some public networks, we need you routers.
Yeah. See, basically, router means it's an intelligent device. It is used to establish the connection between two different networks. So, two different network. While I was explaining the IP address, I told you the IP address will be vary from network to network. Correct? That means each network will have a different IP address. Correct, right? So, or different subnet, in fact. So, say for example, if it is a Bangalore, okay, the Bangalore may have 172.16.0.0, and Hyderabad may have 192.168.1.0. Okay, so to establish the connection between Bangalore and Hyderabad in our scenario, we need to have the router. And router, it is an intelligent device. Okay, and router expects in each interface different subnet. Okay, and your network team has given this range 10 dot 0 dot 0 dot 0. Okay, 10 dot 0 dot 0 dot 0 slash 24. Okay, if you see this one here, slash 24 means it is of 254 IP address. See here, 24 means it is 24 bit you are leaving for the class A. Means what? Class A means it is 255.255.255.0. Correct, right? When you need less number of network and more number, I mean less number of host, more number of network, you will go for what? Class A. Correct, huh? So the first three classes here, okay, 8.8.8.8, the first 8 threes are 24. So 24 bit for the network and remaining 8 bit for the host. So 8 bit means what? Maximum 254 only, na? 2 to the power of n minus 1. If you put 254 only, it will comes, right? 255 it comes. 255 is a broadcast ID. So 1 to 254 will be used. Understood or not, guys? If you look at here, class A means what? Network means n.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I
Sir,
told.
you, yeah, yes, sir.
Sorry.
Actually, in case of
No,
class C, you
yeah,
told
yeah,
class.
correct. See here, I was writing class C. So if I write an IP address like 192.168.1.10, the first 24 bits are there. No, this 24 bits are for the network. That is what I told you. Slash 24 means you are leaving 24 bits for the network, only 8 bit for the host. Okay.
Yes.
So, so if I write here, so what I will do, I'll just correct this one. 192. Okay. So slash 24 if I write like this, okay. So the first three octet are for network, remaining 8 octets are for the net host. So
Host.
8 means if you put this 2 to the power of n minus 1 formula, it will become 255. So 255 means it's the host, I mean it's a broadcast ID.
Okay.
So 0 to 254 can be used. So 254 IP address are free. Correct, na? So I told you the network interface card of the router should have a different network. Correct, na? So what you will do, this 254 only if you want to effectively use, you can convert this 254 into small network. If you look at here, so slash 24 means it is 254 IP address. So this 254 IP address only you can create small network. So say for example, one area you need about 126 IP address. You can put slash 25 one side. If you put slash 25, the the no you can write like this. Okay, 192.168.1.10. 1 dot 126 slash 25. Another one is uh, 192.168 dot 1 dot 126 plus 62. You can add 120 126 plus 62. Sorry, 126 126 plus 62, 188. So what you can put, 188 slash 26. So what you are trying to do, you are trying to divide that 254 IP address are, then that is a one subnet slash 24 subnet, and you are further dividing that into small network, and you are putting it here. So here, so what you can do, you can put 192.168 dot 1 dot 126. Here you can put 192 dot 168.1.188 slash 25, and as a slash 26. So when you write slash 26, it will consider 1 to 126 as a separate subnet, and from 127 to 188 as a separate subnet. So you have a single subnet of 24 IPs, 254 IP address, and you are further dividing that into small network, because router will have should expect in each interface different subnet. Okay, this is all CCNA class. Okay, don't worry about it. So basically, what you have to do, what you want to learn here, you have to learn here. So slash 24 means it is 254 IP address. Okay, and see here, slash 16 means it is 65,534 IP addresses. Slash 0 means, see, these many number of IP addresses. Okay, this is what you should have in your mind. That's all. Is it clear?
Yes, sir. But every class has broadcast IP reserved ones.
Every IP address will have 255 is broadcast only.
Okay.
255 means it's broadcast. You need to ignore 255 remaining IP. That's why I mentioned 0 to 254 only.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And you see, subnet mask also changes. So slash 24 means it is 255, 255, 255, 0, na? Correct, right? But if you look at slash 126, see, 255, 255, 255, and 128. If you write the IP address, it automatically takes that one, 128 and all, it automatically takes. So I wanted to explain you one more thing. Okay, this one, last one. Okay, how this IP address will be changes, I'll show you. So I told you slash 24 means it is 254 IPS. Slash 16 means it is 65,534 IP addresses. How this 534 comes for 65,000? Say for example, you have this one, 172.16.0.0 slash 16. The first subnet here is 172.16.0.0 slash 24. If you write like 172.16.0.1, 0.2, 0.3, 0.4 up to 0.254. As soon as you reach last number 254, then the second number will be increased by 1, 170, 190, sorry, 172.16.1.1, 1.2, 1.3 up to 1.254. Okay, then this 1 become 2, 192.160, sorry, 172.116.2.1, 2.2, 2.3, up to 2.254, then 172.16.3.1. So like that it goes up to 172.16.254.254. So when once you write this one, this will become 65,534. This number will come. So this is how the numbers will be increased. Okay, clear? This is clear, guys. How to increase the number of
Yes.
IP addresses? See, this is basically, it is purely networking, not ours, CCNA topic. But I just give you some hints. That's all. Okay.
Yes.
So with that, I think we are done with the IP address. Okay. So tomorrow we'll see if possible we'll do DHCP. I am stopping the recording now.